Okay, so I have made a super long slab. And at this point, we have a lot of clay that is recycled and not fresh that I need to be used up. So that means y'all are gonna have to wedge. You're gonna have to wedge, and you're gonna have to make sure you get it long enough. If you don't get it long enough, it won't be a cup. So basically what I'm doing is making a cylinder. I'm making a long cylinder. So I'm gonna cut the rounded edge off. Right there. So now I have a right angle. So now I need to cut down here to make a right angle so I can have a really long rectangle. This measurement, like the short side of the rectangle, that's how tall your cup's gonna be because we're gonna roll it up. So I'm gonna cut it as big as I can. So I'm back down here at this end, cutting this off as big as I can make it. And put it upright and roll it up. That's way too big to be a cup. Okay, so now I need to think about, this is about 16 inches long. Y'all see that? It's about 16 inches. So maybe, let me try 13. Let me try 13 inches because I know I made a 12-inch yesterday and it was a little hard to get my hand inside to smooth the inside. So this is about 5 inches by about 13. Oh, and the reason I want you guys to use the older recycled clay is because you know how soft the fresh clay is? You try to do this, like pick it up and turn it sideways, like this with the soft fresh clay, it's gonna get messed up. And you really can't roll this slab out and leave it sitting here overnight because then it's gonna be too dry the next day to roll. It'll crack, right? So you need to get clay that's been not super fresh clay. Okay, so that's gonna, for me, that's pretty good. I like that. That's fine. That'll work. That's pretty big, but it's gonna work. It's gonna shrink a little bit, so that's okay. Y'all remember these guys from the cube project? Instead of the right angle or the 45-degree angle side, we're gonna do the longer side. It's gonna make a bevel that's a little bit more, I don't know, I guess that's a 30-degree angle or something. And then this time, I'm gonna take this thing, y'all look at me and physically look at me right here. You see what I'm doing? Taking this and I'm flipping it over this way. Did you see that? You saw that. You're closest to me. So I took it, flip it over this way. Does that make sense? I didn't know if you could see that on the video. So, cut that side. Flip it, yeah. Flip it over. Score the angle just like you did when we made a cube. You're gonna score the angle. Slip it. Okay, so then now y'all can see how those two angles that were once parallel are now gonna overlap each other like this. So I'm not gonna put a coil in the crack there because they're overlapping. I'm just gonna make sure they get really smoothed out. If you happen to lay it on its side like this, don't let it go into an oval, you know, don't like let it get smushed. It's gonna start cracking. So I'm holding it up so y'all can see it, but mostly I'm gonna keep it upright from here on out. So I'm gonna blend that, smooth that, drag that clay over, make it look like that little seam was never there. On the inside and the outside. Yay, I kept this slab over here, that extra piece that I cut off, so now I can use that to cut out a circle for the bottom, and then slip and score that on, and then clean everything up, make it look nice. So that's one way to make a cup. It is so simple. There's variations on this, like you can make a tapered cup, and I'll show you some other ways to make a slab cup next week. Basically, I think most of next week I will dedicate to cups. And then I'll do the next week after that will be about plates. So I'm gonna slip and score that on. And then I am gonna put a coil in the crack down in here. That's gonna be difficult, but I'm gonna do it because otherwise it might open up and then you can't drink out of it because then you got a big old crack in your cup. So I'll sit up here and do that real quick. Okay. All right, if y'all will look up here for a second again. So I smoothed this out the best I could. I've scored the bottom and I scored a little bit on the inside edge. And then I rolled out a coil. I pre-rolled it and I've scored this. So now I'm gonna slip it. Slip it and put pressure on. Yes. Oh, I was gonna put the coil in there first. I was gonna go ahead and put this right around the edge where it's gonna go, so I don't have to try to fit it in there afterwards. Like that. Y'all see that? Putting the coil in there and then putting the slab on there. You really wanna get that, kind of tap it on the table to make it go together. Very small, yeah. I wouldn't do big at all. Do as small as you can just to kind of fit in that gap. Then I'm gonna spend some time smoothing this edge together on the outside. To blend that in. But I'm basically gonna press on the inside, on the middle of that coil and blend it up and blend it, press and blend it down. So I'm just gonna try to blend that coil in up into the wall and down into the bottom of it. And I'm keeping my hand on the outside of it where I'm blending so I don't push too hard. And, you know, don't try to blend a wet coil into a dry cup. You want to make sure that you really slip and score that, or it's not going to work out.